Hi everyone, Glucimal Designs here with part 2 of the Tamiya 1350 scale Yamato Premium Edition build. So since the last video, I have painted the hull as well as added a display stand, rudders, and some photo etched parts. So let's get right into it. Now, I usually skip around the instructions sometimes when I'm building, but with this one, I have not. I've been following the instructions page per page. The reason being is there's so much involved in this kit because you have the option of building either the waterline or the full hull. But sometimes in the instructions I've noticed it says waterline version, but then it'll have a little note like this saying do it for full hull as well. So you really got to pay attention because you do have to drill your own holes on this one at some parts, and you don't want to goof that up. So anyway, with a display stand, again, you have options of display stands. It's the same part, at least the base, but these pieces here are different. Now, you have the option of just placing the ship on top of a stand, so that would be the stand you build, or you screw it in, and that's a step right here. It's already on step 7, you're already adding the full hull in, as you can see right here. So painting the hull right now is definitely the way to go if you're going to do this display stand. Actually, in my opinion, doing the hull now is the best way to go because you don't want to build the rest of the ship and then try to spray red all over the hull and have overspray. So, in my opinion, spray the hull now while there's no other pieces that can get in the way. So I did go for the screwing in of the base to the hull, just because this is the beginning stages of the model, and I didn't want this hull sliding all over my desk, getting all scratched up. So you know what, and I like this better for display, because I don't want the ship having a chance of slipping off and then breaking. I didn't glue these caps in yet, just because I want to be sure that I got everything right on this. So anyway, after a full can of paint, full can of red, dull red paint, the hull is finished as far as coloring goes. The camera probably doesn't show it, but this hull is huge. So with that, these little pieces here are photo etched pieces. I find that the photo etch parts for this model kit are very thick, which is nice, so they're nice and strong, but they do take a lot of sanding. And if you don't sand these right, especially where you've taken them off the little tree, they won't fit into this little grooves, because it was pre-grooved for these pieces. So just keep that in mind. Now also with these pieces here, this was the first amendment that you had to look at. Remember that amendment sheet I was telling you about? This one here. So as far as installation, nothing has changed. The only thing they said they forgot to put on there was what color to paint it. So you can see right here, they just told you to paint it the same color as the hull. So very simple. But before you put parts on, check your sheet, because the next one will be on number 32. Then we'll look at that. So just keep that in mind. And then for the propellers, now these pieces here, you had to glue in. Actually, you have to glue in all of it, but I did this first, glued these ones in, and then sprayed the hull, and then I put these on separate. You have to do it, otherwise these won't fit in. So if you glue this and this in at the same time, you won't fit these in. Now these are metal. I'm just going to keep them that color. So yeah, so put these in, but don't put those in until your hull is painted, and then you paint those separately, then install. Easy enough. Same thing with the rudders. I painted the rudders separate from the hull, just because if you put them in now and then or prior to painting, you're not going to get paint underneath, and then it'll look kind of silly. So paint those separate, then install them. So very simple on that. So that's all done. Looking good. I just need to put the screws on, which I'll do sooner than later. I'm not in a big rush for that, just because I am going to be moving this model around, which is great. That's kind of why I kind of like this. Now I can lift and move the model around my desk without getting anything scratched up. I also put a semi-gloss on just to help protect it. Plus it makes the model look a little bit nicer, a little more real. So that's pretty much it. Not the most exciting, but I find with this build here, building it slow and doing videos of almost every step is going to be the best way to go about it, just because of what's coming next. And what's coming next is the decking. It'll come in 2 layers, which I'll show you. The bottom layer, which I don't think you really need to paint, but we'll look into that, just because it acts as a support for the actual deck. So But we'll get into that. It's going to come time here where we're going to have to make sure those are secured in, glued in, and moving on to the next. So there we go. So hopefully that helped. Again, take your time with this. I find that this is very involved. I've been building models for like 30 years now or something around that mark. So, even as an expert, I should say, is, for a beginner, this model kit is going to definitely take you some patience. Even as someone that's been building for a long time, it's going to take some patience, but so far it's well worth it. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I look forward to your comments and enjoy the build. Thanks. Bye.